The East and Central Africa Senior Challenge Cup kicks off on December 4th in Kakamega and Machakos, with the national football team Harambee Stars chasing a 7th title. Preparations have been going on for the 12th nation tournament, but the playing surfaces and the general state of Kenyan stadia has been one of concern. In late September, the Confederation of African Football, CAF, stripped Kenya of the right to host the African Nation Championship, citing poor infrastructure. Question is, has anything changed ahead of the regional tournament today? We look at the state of our stadia, why the disrepair, the bumpy pitches that analysts say have contributed to the shortening of careers of Kenyan footballers, and whether there's hope things will change for the better. In studio is Herbert Mwachiro, a TV commentator, and of course, nowadays he is the deputy CEO of FKF. And also, we look at we'll be talking to Jerry Santo, a former Harambee Stars player, still very young, but then we are using the word former. He will have to explain that. And of course, he is playing for Posta Rangers. He has once also played for Tusker and played in Tanzania for Simba and of course, Coastal Union. Guys, welcome to the studio this morning.
Thank you.
You must be looking forward to watching Harambee Stars from the terraces now that you are not selected for the national team.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching them and, of course, giving them support because they are Kenyans who are footballers and who will be representing the country. Yeah.
So you'll be one of those big fans.
Exactly.
And, of course, Herbert Mwachiro, a TV commentator, that voice behind rugby commentaries, if ever you watch, rugby on TV, this is the voice, and we brought him today here. Now he's the deputy CEO of Football Kenya Federation. He was also involved in the preparation for the African Nation Championship that we were stripped of the rights. And of course, again, he must be involved with the CECAFA Senior Challenge Cup that is coming in. Karibu sana, Herbert.
Thank you very much, Robert.
That voice, of course, the rugby guys and the fans will want to hear it again. Karibu.
Don't deny KPL fans
and Kenya Premier League,
as well, because it's been stolen by KPL more than anything for the last 7 years.
Sure.
Yeah.
Karibu sana.
Santo.
You must be looking forward to watching the Senior Challenge Cup coming back to Kenya since 2013. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm quite keen to see this event take place. I mean, from the federation point of view, as well as working with CECAFA, it's time to get back to what we do best, and that's winning titles, playing football at our level, and ensuring that we give Kenyans something to cheer about, especially in terms of football. We all know that football is the world's #1 sport, and Kenya is no exception. We were disappointed, yes, with the events of another tournament that should have come. But this one, preparation is ongoing. We should be able to uplift ourselves and let Kenyans enjoy a football fiesta.
Just make this clear that the games, some of the matches have now been moved to Machakos. Now you are that you are at FKF. There were matches that were to be played in Kisumu.
Yes.
But now those matches have been moved. Can you clarify what is exactly the story behind all this?
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret. We've had quite a journey this year on many other fronts. Our intention, together with CECAFA, was to host the 2 groups that were coming in Kisumu as well as in Kakamega. We are receiving concerns from invited teams, as well as we have also been talking to the stakeholders on the ground, and we've decided, especially for Kisumu, let us monitor what is happening on the ground. I mean, in terms of football safety, that we wouldn't want anything to go wrong. So as a plan B, as just a safety mechanism, some games will be played in Machakos as we monitor these first 4 days of the event.
What are these concerns? And I'm not sure you want to name some of the countries that have raised concern, but then what are some of the concerns these teams are raising?
I think it's no secret that we're coming from a very challenging political season. And Kisumu being one of the host counties, has raised concern from some of the participating countries. We have teams like Libya, we have teams like Rwanda, we have teams like Zanzibar. So there have been concerns that have been shared, and quite rightfully so. And we've also said, let us monitor the situation. We have a big event coming in tomorrow. Let us monitor the situation and see how it goes for the next couple of days. We are the first people who want to take football to the football mad, crazy town of Kisumu.
Kisumu,
yeah. And we would not want to be at the forefront of denying anybody justifiably or unjustifiably to watch this. tournament.
Yeah, just in case you didn't know, the Sekafa Senior Challenge Cup was slated to be played in Kisumu as well as Kakamega, but changes have since been made, and the matches that were supposed to be played in Kisumu have been moved to Machakos. For the organizers are citing some of the problems, some of the concerns that those teams have raised, and hopefully, if they can be resolved, then some of those matches can go back to Kisumu. But then our topic of discussion today is about the state of our stadia, the playing surfaces that have contributed to some of the worst injuries some of our players have suffered. And today, like I said, we have Jerry Santo. He's the Posta Rangers midfielder. He played for Harambee Stars also, played for Simba in Tanzania. Of course, he has also played for Coastal Union. And now, he's got another cap. He's Secretary General of Kenya Footballers Welfare Association, which is working together with the global body called FIFPro that agitates for the rights of footballers across the world. Guys, congratulations.
Thank you.
For also wearing that cap. What exactly are you guys doing in relation to the bumpy pitches and all that at KEFA and also FIFPro?
Okay. It's so unfortunate, and it's something really bad that is a problem in Kenyan football, I can say. Because when you look at the state in which the teams or the players usually play in, it's usually very wanting. And it contributes a lot in so many things that affect the footballer. First of all, it affects the performance. It's very hard to train and play in a bumpy surface and give the best performance. We look at the speed at which the football is being played outside, like maybe in Europe.
Sure.
You look at the speed in which the game is being played, it just flows in itself. But here in Kenya, it's a big problem because you have to concentrate, like you take more time to look at the ball before it reaches your leg. Yeah, it can bounce and take another side. Yeah, and it's a concern because so many times we've had maybe stadiums being locked for renovations. And at the end of the day, when they open it again, you look at the playing surface, you're like, you're surprised. What were they making?
Yes.
So I think we need to start looking at the most important part of the stadium, which is the pitch where the footballers usually play in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is the arena for these guys.
Yeah. And when you talk football, the main stakeholder in everything is the footballer.
Sure.
So we need to set a standard whereby the footballer will comfortably give the best so that the fans will enjoy and the football fraternity will enjoy it.
It's an exhibition, as we say. I first encountered you when you were playing for Dandora Youth.
Yeah,
sometime a few years ago.
Yes, yeah.
And look at that pitch at Dandora. Now, you moved from Dandora, you went to the Kenyan Premier League, and you expected, to have something better than the bumpy, dusty pitches of Dandora. Nothing has changed.
Something has changed, but it hasn't improved. It has become worse. Because I remember when we were young, we used to play at, I'll give you an example, Ruaraka grounds, the home of Tusker. It was a field that every time we were called for a friendly there, we want to go and give our best. The pitch was good. Really. But look at it now. Instead of it improving, it's really deteriorating.
I was there a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it's becoming worse.
Yeah.
It's becoming worse.
Where is the problem, Herbert, being a TV commentator, sports person, administrator? You visit all these pitches and you rub shoulders with some of the managers of these pitches. Where is the problem?
I think the importance of maintenance of facilities is what is lacking in our country, sadly. As Jerry has said, the key stakeholder here is the footballer. Sure. People who have facilities, and I'll even challenge Tusker. Tusker, a big company owned by, a big football club owned by EABL, the ground. Sure. They should be at the forefront of maintaining that ground for their own players. It's good you've asked me, because yesterday I was talking to one Tusker player who told me that they were training at Railway Ground, just next to Huru Park.
It's also bumpy.
And that could not, there was no way they were able to give in a good performance by training on that ground and playing in the league on an equally bad pitch as well. So I think the focus right now, and maybe we are learning lessons, very painful lessons from the Chan debacle, is our facilities must take priority. I really wish that the PS was here.
I'm looking at those images over there, and that should be Kakamega.
Yes, this is Buhungu Stadium.
That's Buhungu Stadium.
Yeah.
And Jerry, when we had a chat, we were saying that there's more concentration on some of those facilities to be used by the VIPs and not the player himself. I don't know. You've been going around watching all those renovations, Kakamega Stadium, Machakos. Why concentrate so much in those VIP sections and not the player?
I think, Robin, it's the low-hanging fruits. The low-hanging fruits that you can please are the VIPs. But the fruits that are highest on the tree that we're striving so difficultly to appease are the players. And that's where we should focus. I think even in terms of the knowledge of what grounds should be, it needs to be improved in Kenya. One thing that we learned when we were preparing for Chan is that the level of preparation for fields is very different, especially in the European leagues and other countries, as to what we are doing now. Here we are doing the same old thing that is outdated. We're even playing on surface, on grass types that are outdated. Nobody plays on Kikuyu grass anymore. People are playing on the Bermuda and the Paspiram. I mean, those are the levels of grass, and that's what we need to change. In terms of maintenance of these facilities, and even our biggest stadiums are no stranger to this, there is need to increase knowledge, there is need to increase investment in what we're doing for our grounds.
You've gone to Buhungu.
I've been to Buhungu.
Yes, so what's happening there?
Buhungu are preparing a stadium, and I'll commend the fact that the county government has taken an initiative to build or renovate the stadium that was in place. I think it's important that now that they're building up a facility, they need to work closer with the federation, because within the federation there are people now who have the expertise of what needs to be done, what minimum facilities in relation to CAF and FIFA need to be applied, especially on playing surfaces.
Have you submitted that because you are in that committee?
Yes, we have spoken to them, we have spoken with the governor, and it's something that most likely come next year, when they're now moving to phase 2 and phase 3 of their stadium, that we will emphasize on the need of improving the playing surface, emphasize that we are part and parcel of the monitoring and evaluation on how the playing surfaces will come. And I'll tell you, Nyayo Stadium, in our plan for Chan, was to have a new surface, and it will have. Kasarani, the surface will be changed, as well as Kinoru and Eldoret. They will have new surfaces in line with modern grass surfacing technology.
But Jerry, you listen to what Herbert is saying. It looks like things are quite promising, but the reality on the ground when you play on those surfaces, and have you had anything, being done or being made to ensure that the surface is okay?
Yeah, I think one thing, the Buhungu Stadium is one case scenario of how things are happening here in Kenya. We usually forget about what touches on the main stakeholder. We deal on other things first, and then the last point is when we remember, oh, these are the ones who are supposed. So we tend to let's just go on and accept the situation the way it is. And I think
for how long will it continue?
Things need to change. We need to concentrate on the most important things first. The most important thing first, as what I can say, is what touches on the player first. We are talking about Sekafa. Sekafa is not going to be how many VIP guests are going to come. Sekafa is going to be how many teams are going to perform in this game, how many games are going to be played, how many minutes are these players going to run inside the field. And when you look at the surface area in which they are going to play, we talk of the Machakos Stadium. It's not up to standard that is required. we saw that thing when CAF came and said that, I believe they said, we need to remove all the grass, the surface.
Absolutely.
And we put another one.
We still have Kikuyu grass. Like
yeah, so that shows that Kenya, we are doing these things differently. We need to start by what touches on the player first, and then we go on other things.
We need to move very fast because I'm told there are other issues coming up and we'll need to get out of set now. But then, tell me, do you as players, now that you are in Kifwa, you are in Fifth Pro, do you have a voice? Can you say from today, this is what is happening, the players will do A, B, C, D, unless the surfaces are fixed?
Okay, you know one thing.
You also have to answer because you are directly under FKF too. Yeah.
Exactly. One thing we need to understand, Toskin, Africa is Africa. We have our challenges. We can't force things to be the way they are in Europe. We have challenges in Africa we need to accept, but that doesn't give us the reason not to push for things to be better.
Yes.
And to have the standards that we can attain and help in improving football.
Sure.
We as KEFWA, we are constantly reminding them, even if they know it. We can't force them to do it because circumstances sometimes allow them not to happen. But we are pushing them and we are fighting for the players to see that they can get the best conditions, that they can give their best.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, we can see football improve in Kenya. And so many things were not the way they are supposed to be.
Exactly.
And we are coming to trying to introduce them to the federation so that they can at least adapt them, and we see how we can help the football in Kenya.
Okay, I'm told we don't have much time. I wish I could get your last comment just in 10 seconds. Do we accept things the way they are and move on, or we need to change?
No, we are changing. And in fact, I'm glad that Jerry is speaking on behalf of KEFWA, because now KEFWA is the advocacy agent for footballers. Player welfare is important, and in terms of avoiding injuries and asking for the tools that they require, and that is among playing surfaces, they need to keep advocating for that. Yeah. Jerry has been to 2 consultative forums invited by the federation. He was at the AGM for the federation. Yeah. He was there. He now has a voice. He now has a legitimate platform for which he can advocate for the issues, and I encourage him to continue doing so.
Thank you very much, because Jerry Santos will now be heading to Egypt on December 4th, also on a FIFA Pro seminar to talk about the conditions of and the welfare of players. And of course, I'm sure Mike, who doesn't step on a football pitch, will not really be worried about the concerns of those bumpy pitches unless maybe he can tell us that he's one of those Sunday football players. I don't know, Mike.
Well, not Sunday exactly.